Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. John here, or is it Jim? You can never ever know for sure, can you? What you can know though is that we're going to always come back here, talk about what is going on in the world. Oh, it still surprises me how just a few years ago we were saying we need to be planned. SHTF will happen someday. We're telling you someday it's going to happen. Well, lo and behold, it kind of hit, with this whole cerveza bug nonsense. And but all along the way, we've gotten some very valuable and useful lessons, right? It's not how much food you have or how many bullets you have. It's not how many bitcoins or gold coins you have. It's your mind, the prepared mind. Chance favors it. So we've been working on that. And I've said, from everything from the knowledge you accumulate to the training you do, everything, right? The aggregate preparedness is what's going to help you deal with the harder times coming. And so we think about this stuff, right? We think about the psychology behind it. And, I think we've all discovered over the years how mass psychology is being used against us, right? Psychological operations. And we discovered through research that the government can lie to us. They can use propaganda. And today, holy shit, today, right? Not just today, but today meaning modern times, right? All you have to do is turn on the TV or turn on your computer and you get lies out of the White House, left and right. Right? So we need to be prepared to deal with those lies and understand them for what they are, how they're being used against us. And that's really what this particular video is about, is not being a victim, literally, of their tricks, the tricks of the trade, right? And I've said we need to toughen up. Oh man, from the very beginning, toughen up. I remember hearing, John, you cuss far too much. Jim, you guys, well, no one ever called me Jim back then, but John, you cuss far too much on your channel. Well, I said you need to toughen up. If you think this language is harsh, wait till you see what's coming. And lo and behold, 6, 7 years later from that early start on the channel, you can hear the president dropping the F-bomb. You can hear senators, you can hear congressmen dropping the F-bomb, right? Openly calling each other names in Congress. And it's so bad now that no matter where the president goes, he's greeted with the pejorative, let's go Brandon, AKA fuck Biden. It shows you that their desired outcome, control of us, they're not going to make it, but they're still going to try. They're still going to push. And remember, they may not control you, or at least let's hope they don't, but they control others. So we need to understand the effects of the psychological operation that it's having on others, and we need to be prepared to deal with that. So I was talking with a friend the other evening, and I learned something new, and I thought, geez, I need to bring this to you guys. We know all about the psychological operation. I've studied psychology myself for off and on for decades, but I've never heard of this effect, and I wanted to share it with you so you could apply it to what's going on, because we've been talking as of late how we have something happen in the military, and it's a news item for 2 days, 3 days. Uman talks about as having a 72-hour news cycle where something becomes the news for 3 days, and then it goes away and it's replaced by something else. But something curious has gone on. It never is resolved, right? There'll be something about masks and it's not resolved, but it goes away. And I thought that's just really odd. Why don't they solve that little problem, then move on? Well, they don't. And lo and behold, this has a name, and I want to talk to you about it a little bit. It's called the Zeigarnik effect. And it's named after, I'm going to read here, I got the little computer. It's named after Soviet psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik. And it occurs, here we go, folks, get ready for this. This fully applies to what is happening in the world today and how we're being played as fools, puppets, dupes, and morons. Right? This effect, the Zeigarnik effect, it's Zeigarnik. Look it up. The Zeigarnik effect occurs when an activity that has been interrupted may be more readily recalled. It postulates, here it is, it postulates that people remember unfinished or interrupted tasks better than completed tasks. The Zeigarnik effect has been used to demonstrate the general presence of Gestalt phenomena, not just appearing in perceptual effects, but also present in cognition, meaning you're thinking about it. So what they do is they introduce more and more trauma out here, right? You've got trauma, all this SHTF trauma. The economy's bad, the military's being dicked with, the Supreme Court can't make up its fucking mind and do its job, right? We have election issues, we have, oh yeah, Cerveza, and the Cerveza bug crap, right? It has economic impact, it has medical impact. They're, you know, God, hospitals are locked down, hospitals are overflowing, triage tents, well, they bring up all this stuff. And then we get to the Jim Jones juice. Everyone needs to have it. Well, no one needs to have it. We're not going to make it mandatory, but if you don't, you know. So they keep introducing these ideas, and they don't close them out because they know it's an unclosed file. It's unfinished business, if you will. And so our minds, because we don't have a conclusion, they can draw you back in. So, for example, a series on television. A lot of people like the Viking one. A lot of people, there's all these mini series, and what they do, and we call it a hook, right? At the end of the show, they give you a big old hook, some unfinished business, some vital bit of information, and it plays in your head. Right? You get to that point. How is that useful? What am I going to do with that? You know, what's coming next? And that's the Zeigarnik effect. And it keeps part of our brain occupied with that thing, whether it's a television show or Raggedy Ann, Jen Psaki and her stupidity and her bullshit. And, you know, I make fun of her quite a bit because she deserves it. But she always says, well, I'll circle back to that. I'll circle back to that. Remember that shit when that was pretty popular? I'll circle back. And she never fucking gets there, right? I think it's intentional. It's to keep the media and then us thinking about their unfinished business. So if they would actually finish the business and we could put things to bed, we could, right? You put things in a file, you close that fucking drawer, you're done, right? It's no longer on your desktop. And if we could do that with the Supreme Court, if we could do that with the military, if we could do that with China, with everything, we could focus on just one or two issues that are in front of us right now, but they're keeping us fully distracted with a dozen or more major items. And they'll bring them up, dick around with them for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then it'll just go away again. But we're left with that little hook, like, what the fuck is going on? And they keep our minds active. They keep us distracted. They keep us busy. What should you be focusing on, folks? What should be your primary concern? Well, it used to be your life, your family, your retirement, your vacation, your pets, your motorcycle, your car, whatever the thing used to be that you focused on, you know, your primary interests in life. We don't really have a whole lot of that anymore, not the way we used to, because they keep occupying our mind with this Zeigarnik effect, this predictive programming. And that's really, right, we've seen this happening. They show us how it's going to happen in movies. They talk about how, oh, let's see, parents, folks, are domestic terrorists. But they didn't start with that. Imagine if they started 10, 15, 20 years ago saying parents are terrorists. People would say, what the fuck are you talking about? But they started with 9/11, and then they went to the Patriot Act. Then they did the National Defense, the NDAA. And then they said we have domestic problems. Then we had Janet Napolitano say, yeah, see something, say something. Then they went after the Tea Party, a bunch of old people who thought it was a cute name. Right? Then they said, well, let's throw veterans in there, because they're potential domestic concerns. And at that time, that was out fucking outrageous. Now, right, you're a white Nazi extremist, you know, if you're a veteran. Never mind what color you are. That doesn't matter. It's what you believe that makes you a white supremacist. And so they've been leading us along, predictive programming, showing us what's coming in the future with news, television shows. They're telling us, right? You can see it. It's predictable. Right? We do trends research here, trends analysis. And we're really focused on all of this stuff. So this Zeigarnik effect I thought was really fascinating. I guess I must have missed that day in my doctoral dropout course. Anyways, it's fascinating that that's how they're doing it. They're occupying parts of our mind. Now, from a physiological standpoint, I'm going to slip over to a little bit of the way the body and the mind works. If you cannot put things to rest, right? Here's a subject, bam, close that file, lock it away, done deal, don't have to worry about it anymore. Right? If you're constantly being treated to continuous exercise of your mind, it's like your muscles. It needs a chance to rest. It needs a chance to understand. It needs a chance to recover. But they're not letting us rest, are they? They're not letting us recover. They're wearing people down. They're defeating people through attrition. People are getting the Jim Jones jab. They're drinking that fucking Kool-Aid because why? Because it keeps getting hammered at them. It's important. It's okay. It's safe. Yada, yada. You're a bastard if you don't. You're killing grandma. You're going to make Joe Biden mad. Dr. Doom Fauci, the little prick, you know, he's not going to be happy. There's going to be consequences. All of that shit. Right? So they keep it in your mind and they're wearing you down. And the other day we were talking about people who are losing their shit. And like a dog that's been injured, right? It lashes out at other dogs. It lashes out at people. It bites everybody because it's afraid. It hurts. And so they attack those that are around them. But in this case, folks, because we're humans, because of our mass communication system, we have the ability to hear, or rather those that are far away in DC, they can get all the way into our lives, all the way into our ears, and as the modern vernacular is they're inside your head. They're getting free rent inside your head because they bring up these little traumas, like our Marines and soldiers that were blown to fucking pieces in Kabul, who were senselessly killed because of the stupidity, and then all of the hundreds of others, American citizens, American allies that were injured and killed and are, speaking of Zeigarnik effect, they still haven't finished that out. I mean, any day we could get news footage, video dropped on us out of Afghanistan, showing us, folks, showing us Americans in trouble. And it would completely open that can of worms again and get into your head. And it would be unfinished business that you've been worrying about. Now, right, that's why we need a good diet. You need to understand what is happening. You need to stay current so that you don't get in a trap. You don't want to be trapped by these people, bottled up. You need an outlet to express yourself. You need an outlet for information to come to you. And that's really what we try and provide. It's a multifaceted SHTF, folks. It's not something simple like the Germans are coming, you know, point that way and start shooting your guns. It's not that kind of an SHTF. Not that it can't get there. Anyways, I wanted to bring this to your attention. This is largely, at this point, a psychological battle. But you do need, in addition to the prepared mind, you need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, because those things will become practical in due time. Depending on where you live, they'll have a greater or lesser impact and need. Again, if you're down south, if you're in a free zone, you're going to be better off than if you're in deep, dark, and stupid Chicago, right, where even the police are hated by the mayor, punished, threatened, and wow. I hope everything's good up there, Anthony. Hopefully you send me an email or a text message and keep me informed, keep us all informed at the R Syndicate and the Prepared Mind Network. But for now, I'm gonna sign you off with predictive programming, the Zeigarnik effect, Understand, folks, if psychological operations, if psyops, if psychological warfare wasn't important, why would there be entire units dedicated to it in the Army and military intelligence, the Central Intelligence Agency, etc.? They've studied human mind for decades, well over a century, and they know how it works. They know how to try and control it. And because you are thinking for yourself, you are the resistance. But that doesn't mean you're bulletproof. Right? You can see the enemy coming, you could know the tools and weapons they have, but that doesn't make you bulletproof. You need to stay strong and keep thinking for yourself. Understand what's going on. And as I've said, humor goes a long way. Having a little bit of fun in your day and your week really helps you deal with this stuff. Don't let them trap you. Don't let them beat you up. Right? And most of all, chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Thank you for coming to Patreon. $2 a month, 7 cents a day. It keeps this network going. It keeps me quite comfortable, right? Look at all the beautiful artwork I have on the wall behind me. You know, I have the Hunter Biden collection. I just bought the whole thing. Cost me 35 cents. Actually, I don't, but yeah. Coming to you live from the closet again. This is Jim. And I wish you a good day. I'll be back this afternoon, and we'll do some more talking. But definitely share this video with everyone. Make them aware. We're in the middle of SHTF. It's not going to get better. It's going to get a lot worse. So you're prepared, and you can help yourself and others around you. And above all else, folks, Godspeed, Semper Fi.